Well, it is official. The 10th day of Eagles training camp is in the books, and literally tomorrow we have a preseason game. A lot to look forward to. We have Nick Sirianni's press conference. We have practice updates and a lot more. So let's get straight into it all.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Yo, what is going on, guys? So tomorrow's the day. I mean, this is where we're going to see the competition really unfold against, another team. And this is where things are going to start to heat up just a little bit until we get into those joint practices with the Browns next week. And by the end of next week, we should have more answers than what we have right now. And we're going to start with Nick Sirianni's press conference on the 10th day of Eagles training camp, and had some things to say. Not a lot of productive words from Nick Sirianni as usual, but he did talk about the Jacorian Bennett trade. It said that they really did like his tape on his speed, his coverage ability, and that he's only a depth piece at cornerback, which really hard for me to believe that he's just a depth piece. I think they brought him in for more than that, for him to compete for this starting CB2 job, since he really hasn't gone that well. Now, Jacorian Bennett, I don't think did much on the 10th day of Eagles training camp because he just got here. So I would say after the preseason game, he'll be back, and that's the next time we will see him in pads, ready to go and ready to compete for cornerback too, if that's going to be the case. Now, Nick Sirianni did talk about defensive tackle depth as well. Now, we know the Eagles did trade Thomas Booker, and it really gives me good insight that they really care about Ojulari a lot, that they really value him, is going to have a big year, is going to go into that Milton Williams role this year. And got to thank the coaching staff for taking a 7th-round pick and turning him to possibly it's going to be a top-paid DT probably after the next couple of years. So definitely look out for that. Now, Nick did talk about the injuries to A.J. Brown and Zach Baun. Zach Baun dealing with the back contusion, which is pretty much just a bruise, and A.J. Brown has a hamstring injury. Now, I don't think we're trying to read so much into it, but I think it's just precautionary at this point. These are two guys they need on the field at 100% capacity. They do not want to risk putting these guys on the field for not even 2 minutes of practice. And I don't really blame them. A.J. Brown doesn't really need the practice, and Zach Baun is an all-pro that we really need to sit and let him get healthy for this linebacker core to hit the field on the regular season. So that's pretty much the main reason for both of those guys still being out. So a lot of news on Andrew Mukuba from Nick Sirianni, and pretty much doing pretty well, going in the right direction. I mean, Andrew Mukuba was the first one out on the field today. He was on 11 on 11, second team defense. He actually had a PBU on tight end Kylan Granson today. He was flagged for a DPI the play after that, but he's getting more involved in this defense, and now he's starting to get into the team drills, which is good. Need him to play, need those physical reps. Andrew Mukuba might maybe play in this game tomorrow. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll be surprised from what Vic Fangio said on the 9th day of camp that it's probably not going to happen. Maybe there's just not enough physical practices under his belt. They don't want to risk anything with him, and he might have to wait another week, but we'll see what happens. But at least he was in there, and he was doing this thing, which is good. Now, let's talk about the injury report really quick for the Philadelphia Eagles. Not practicing of Zach Baun, A.J. Brown, Montrell Johnson, and Byron Young. Out as of right now, limited. Lewis Sign, Charlie Huglet, Trevor Keegan is officially back in some capacity, which is good. Terrace Marshall is back at a limited capacity. So we're going to talk about the other two receivers that had a fantastic day today, but Terrace Marshall, saw some video of him being back, has got the right sleeve on his leg. So excited for him to be back and hopefully can make some noise, hopefully not missing too much time here. Mac McWilliams, Andrew Mukuba, we just talked about him, and you have Matt Pryor with the shoulder as well. So the injury report isn't that bad, and everybody on the limited capacity is either very limited or they're doing a lot more than being limited. So I think the injury report is fair to say fair. And, we'll see what happens and by Thursday night. Now, we talk about the linebacker position because a lot of eyes were on Jahad Campbell today for, obviously being the green dot. And the back-end communication has to be great. And you have multiple linebackers since Baun is out, Dean is out, and these other guys are getting opportunities to be the green dot, calling the defense. And Jahad Campbell has really ran with it. It's to a point where Vic Fangio a couple days ago said that the training camp is disappearing behind him, that he's almost going to be unleashed, that it is time for this era of Jahad Campbell Campbell at linebacker. Even Jalen Hurts said after practice that you could feel Jahad Campbell's presence on the field. And Saquon Barkley pretty much say that Jahad Campbell, he's going to be a problem this season, and reminds him of Micah Parsons in a lot of ways. Now, as for lining up defensively, it looks like Cooper DeJean took the safety spot. It looks like he was subbed out later for Sidney Brown. You had Adoree Jackson as the number 2 corner as of right now. As for some coverages in the defense, it looks like Small Munden, the linebacker from Georgia, had some really good coverage in the end zone on Saquon that Hurts was targeting at the time, but kind of peeled back a little bit because the coverage was just too good by him. And it looks like Nolan Smith kind of went through the same thing, but as an edge rusher, going into coverage, covering the wheel route, and actually did a pretty good job on him as well. Now, it looks like Kelee Ringo had a near interception today. Couldn't catch it, unfortunately. This was coverage on Saquon Barkley as well. So Ringo doing some positives, but it's very little. It's very little that I even heard anything from Kelee Ringo's standpoint in this camp, especially on the 10th day. And I just need him to be in this preseason game. I just need to see more. I'm absolutely getting pissed off because I'm not hearing enough from Kelee Ringo when it comes to this practice, unfortunately. So didn't hear much. Moro Ojomo yet again with a pressure and a sack. And obviously facing Brett Toth isn't really something that's big, but this is another thing where, you know, Moro Ojomo has done this multiple times throughout this week and a half of camp. Moro Ojomo really coming into his own, like we said earlier in this video. And I think the Eagles think he's ready, prepared, and, you know, is only going to get better over time. So excited for Moro Ojomo. Now, it looks like Hurts threw off his back foot trying to target Will Shipley and threw a pick to Cooper DeJean. Got the pick there, made the play, so really good for Cooper. Now, it looks like the new edge rusher and Azeez Ojulari made some noise today, which he beat Jordan Mailata one-on-one and got to Jalen Hurts, forcing incompletion to Devontae Smith. Azeez Ojulari. We had a Joshua Uche a couple days ago make some plays, and Fangio did say that both of these guys are starting to make noise. I'm telling you, you have Azeez Ojulari healthy for the 2025 season, you might see a double-digit sack season. I'm not even kidding. Now, I want to get to the spicy part of this because wide receiver has been absolutely amazing, and today, we might know who the number 4 wide receiver is going to be. Now, it looks like Darius Cooper had a touchdown from McKee over Mac McWilliams in the end zone today, so he made a really good play. And then you had Elijah Cook, short pass, sharp turn upfield, literally putting Eli Ricks on skates, breaking his ankles up the field and making a big play there. Elijah Cooks is still cooking, and Elijah Cooks has looked like the number 4 guy that we've probably been looking for a while. Excited to see that guys have stepped up. So now that Terrace Marshall is back, let's see if he starts to make noise, starts to complicate this wide receiver room, and hopefully stays healthy, because I think he can make a good impression in this room. And remember what A.J. Brown said. He made the wide receiver room feel very uncomfortable, and it's only going to make everybody better as the competition goes up and the pressure is up and the stakes are high. The more receivers, the better you're going to be. And I think 3 of them have done pretty well. 2 of them have been healthy, but Terrace Marshall has the opportunity now. Jalen Hurts had a fantastic day on day 10 of the Eagles training camp. Now, the first throw that he made, he didn't make, was the one to Calcaterra that was for a touchdown. Totally missed it. Got pissed at himself a little bit, and then he went off. You had Jalen Hurts throw a touchdown pass to Dallas Goedert back of the end zone. We know that Jalen Hurts and Dallas Goedert, the connection of this training camp between both of them, especially Goedert being on his last year in Philadelphia on this contract. This is going to be a big year for both. Hopefully, Goddard can stay healthy for a whole season and not miss 4 to 6 games. You had 11 versus 11, a 10-yard touchdown to Saquon Barkley, and then you had a touchdown to Jahan Dotson back of the end zone, and then you had another one to Smith over the shoulder, big throw into the end zone, touchdown, 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 touchdown. It was a perfect day for Jalen Hurts. Well, other than that, guys, that was pretty much the 10th day. Now, they weren't in full pads. They were just in helmets for today, so it was a light sort of day of camp. And we have a game tomorrow, and this is where things start to spice up a little bit. And it's not just against the Eagles. It's against another uniform, another player, a different jersey. Things are going to start to get more complicated. The competition is about to rise just a little bit more, and we're going to find out, who is the odd man out and who are the strongest ones that deserve to stay. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day, covering training camp, covering everything during the regular season. Appreciate it so much. Definitely hit the like button on this video. It helps out tremendously. I will see you guys on the next one. Shakes what up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace. Peace.